Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s. It works for members like...
I'm Haley, and I've lost 100 pounds. Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects. It's all in one place.
Weight Watchers handles the insurance for you and offers affordable cash pay options. With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
I'm Mike, and I've lost 135 pounds. Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
I'm Sharia, and I lost 80 pounds on Weight Watchers. I realized that it would take more than a prescription to lose weight and feel good on a GLP-1.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last.
I can't imagine doing a GLP-1 without Weight Watchers.
Get started for as low as $25 at WeightWatchers.com/GLP1. For over 60 years, we've helped millions of members find what works for them. Now, it's your turn. Weight Watchers. Watch it work.
Did you know we have completely ad-free early access to all of our episodes? Well, we do. Not only that, but we have dozens of bonus episodes waiting for you. Head on over to patreon.com/ghosttownpod, and you can check it out for 7 days absolutely free. That's patreon.com/ghosttownpod. American Idiot. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
We often talk about a different time in the internet's relatively short history, an earlier time, a simpler time, a time when the internet was actually cool, exciting, populated by young, savvy users who enjoyed discourse, had opinions, and were down to stay up late, drinking Jolt, eating 3D Doritos, and textually sparring with strangers. Some call this the internet's golden years. Others, the beginning of the end, or the eternal September. Jason, does the term eternal September mean anything to you?
No.
No, you're new to this. You're
I'm
like a
new.
little lamb just being...
I'm only 19 years old.
Yeah, you
Just
don't
a little
know.
kid.
What's the internet?
Yeah, but tell me,
I will.
wise one.
That's right, I will. We'll start at the beginning. Way back when, think 1979, you were only 40 at this point.
I was early 40s.
The dawn of the internet, Duke University grad students Tom Truscott and Jim Ellis created a computer-to-computer discussion system developed from general-purpose Unix to Unix copy. It's called UUCP, a dial-up network infrastructure. You know the sound of this. They were collectively called Usenet, a portmanteau of users' network. Think messages to one another on a kind of bulletin board system, an early way of communicating on your computer to someone else's. Easy, right? Colleges, most notoriously UNC, Duke, and UC Berkeley, were the first to employ Usenet computer-to-computer discussion. But in the early 90s, the first internet service providers began to offer Usenet to the general public. That went well. I'll tell you why. It was essentially an internet infrastructure for us normal people, not programmers. Chat rooms, online forums, Reddit. Reddit was happening way back then, etc. And like the things that I just mentioned, Usenet wasn't all housed on one server and essentially owned by no one. Again, very odd in this day and age. It was a democratized form of an online communicator on every subject. And big things happened here. Usenet was the place for many important public developments in the pre-commercial internet. For example, on August 6th, 1991, computer programmer Tim Berners-Lee used Usenet to invite the public to collaborate on something he was creating, called the World Wide Web. Yes, that World Wide Web. It's also where we got the term lol, laugh out loud, of course, and the term spam, a reference to spam or spiced ham from a Monty Python sketch. And basically spam meant back then excessive posting on Usenet, which was just like, again, over and over messages. Think like the Reddit kind of format, flooding of sorts to overwhelm or drive users away. It's also where software engineer Mark Anderson announced the creation of the Mosaic browser and the introduction of the image tag, which made the internet a purely text and code-based medium to one where we can post pictures. Again, revolutionized it. That's very big. In any case, Usenet was generally for internet-savvy nerds and engineers, maybe a couple of rich guys trying to capitalize on the new technology somehow. During most of the year, just a handful of new people would get access to Usenet because people weren't really excited about going online back in the 80s and 90s. They were playing football and going outside. They were mostly into pretty much anything else. The exception every year came in August or September, when a new class of freshmen went to college and gained access to the internet and Usenet through the university system. For those already deep in Usenet, this was a bad time to be active online. Young and annoying newbies cluttered their news groups, didn't know the etiquette, the vibe, the slang, yes, even LOL was new, and were generally extremely annoying to the nerds who called Usenet home. That's when we first see the use of September being a bad time for the internet, and in particular, Usenet. But in September 1993, something very, very bad happened. It became the September that never ended, a phrase coined by computer guru David Fisher. Why did he make up that phrase? We will tell you after this break. In the early days of the internet, Usenet was where the action was, and every September, Usenet would have a crop of annoying newbies to contend with. They'd learn the ropes, things would calm down, but invariably the next year come September, the same shit would happen again. That is, until September 1993. In September 1993, AOL connected its users to Usenet. What is your AOL history?
I was on it, and I was on AOL chat rooms and stuff like that. Like, I was on the Morrissey chat room, like the straight edge hardcore chat room. Oh yeah.
I was on like horses. You like horses? I like horses.
Mine was probably
American
even dorkier.
Girls. Oh yeah.
Do you remember what your AOL name was?
Yes, it was Cappy9704. That's my cat and my home address.
It's dangerous. Mine was worse. Mine was JKD 101. Strap in for this. The JKD stands for Jeet Kune Do, which is Bruce Lee's martial art.
Oh my God.
And 101 is like, we're getting down to basic.
Baby.
I was a full-blown adult when I was doing this. And I was like, ladies, do you want cool? How about Bruce Lee's martial art? And what does Jeet Kune Do stand for? The way of the intercepting fist. That's and women would date me.
Wow.
Like that's on them. I think that's on them. All the signs were there that I was a total dork.
This is even before they saw your tattoos.
Oh, I have on my back. I have in Chinese letters, Jeet Kune Do tattooed on my back.
This is the darkest part of this episode.
You didn't see this coming, did you?
I did not. I don't know. I need a minute.
Yeah. And if you want to see those tattoos, head on over to Patreon and you will not see them there.
Mm-mm. You'll see something, though. It
You'll
won't be that.
You'll see something. It won't be that. No, yes. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that took a dark turn. We'll get back to the episode. So AOL connected its users to Usenet. These AOL users thought that Usenet was something that they were paying for, so they were kind of entitled about it. In a way, in the words of one Redditor, it made these AOL users, quote, unusually resistant to efforts to condition their behavior to learn about the culture. Says Opus the Penguin about that time on Reddit, quote, they just moved in. They didn't bother to learn the local rules or stay on topic. They pooped on the furniture and raided the fridge and stayed up all night and yacked on about nothing. Suddenly, Usenet was a much less pleasant place to be. Said engineer and coiner of the Eternal September phrase, David Fisher, quote, new users were encouraged to read posts and get used to the social environment for a week or two before posting anything. People who didn't follow that advice and ran afoul of the accepted net etiquette, thank you, were flamed into submission. Fisher saw this as also going to be an eternal problem for the young internet because it was going to permanently and irrevocably change Usenet culture for the worse. In the course of a discussion about it, he said, quote, it's moot now. September 1993 will go down in net history as the September that never ended. It was shortened to Eternal September and eventually became more generalized, meaning that a site or some part of the internet had become so flooded with newer, dumber people that it overwhelmed and permanently changed the culture that was there before. For the worse. Said Redditor WWW Wolf, quote, once upon a time, back when the heaven was new, the only new people coming to the internet and making nuisance of themselves due to their incompetence were the university freshmen. Every September, there would be lots of idiots around, but by the end of the month, everything was normal again, and the new students learned to behave themselves. Then AOL offered internet to everyone, and it never ended. The idiocy, that is. People on Reddit talk a lot about Eternal September in the context of 4chan, a site similar to Usenet. In the simplest sense, a very not safe for work bulletin board launched in 2003 and is now defunct. Were you ever on 4chan?
No. I don't care what anyone says. I was never on it.
It's not for, it's a wholesome thing to talk about.
No, I was, that's not for me.
Says Redditor Chuck Carmichael, something similar you might hear from time to time is the endless summer, which is something that comes from 4chan. Every summer, all of 4chan's boards noticed an increasing number of shit posts, aka posts that were clearly made by somebody new to 4chan who had no idea of the 4chan etiquette and lingo. This was usually attributed to all the school kids staying at home all day, surfing the internet. But now that everyone has access to the internet all the time, and school kids can post on 4chan whenever they want, it is the summer that never ends. Fall turns to summer, idiots flood the internet, and that's what happens. Now, some people thought that this all was inevitable, which, again, I did too. I feel like once you get unleashed upon the internet, there's really no going back, and the people on it will do what they please. You can't create like a environment that's a specific way and has specific etiquette, especially now. The internet was growing and changing always. Said Redditor COS, the main distinction of earlier Septembers was that a flood of new people on the internet temporarily overwhelmed existing internet culture until they got some experience and, again, things stabilized a little. Starting in the fall of 1993, for a long time, there were a lot more new people on the net than old-timers, so it felt like an eternal September. I date the end of Eternal September to the first time after 1993 that the majority of regular users of the internet had been on for longer than a year. I don't remember exactly when that was, but I think it was around 2000 or not long after. September has been over for more than a decade. And it really is and no longer feels like it did during that time, the early 2000s, the late 90s. It was different then, and the dominant group of people on the internet they would label themselves this in the know. Now, none of us are really in the know ever. And I think that Eternal September is based on a delusion that internet culture was going to stay fixed. It's always changing, even before 1993, and in some big ways over the course of just a few years, even now. The time when the internet was popular enough to have traffic, but not widespread enough to be mainstream. Only dedicated and interested people were in it. The sense of community combined with novelty of using a service that had no other parallels in human technology until that point must have felt pretty damn good. It's curious to think that no one will ever get to experience a feeling of I was here before it was cool on that scale, and probably hundreds of years until we get another breakthrough in technology, or maybe when we start colonizing other planets. But let's leave this episode with some positivity. In the sage words of the Eternal September's originator, David Fisher, he said this in an interview with Vice, quote, "It's a complex world, and the problems lie with humanity, not the net. It's better to have everyone involved, even if a lot of them are idiots."